Hello everyone, welcome to today's Facebook Live. Today's topic will be on how does food and medicine control your diabetes. So here with us today, we have our Senior Dietitian, Ms. Ling Ng Yen, as our Pharmacist Manager, Ms. Darren E. Today with us. Today's hashtag for the event is hashtag Be in Control, hashtag CVSKL, and hashtag Heart with Heart. So the flow of today will be starting with the informative sessions that will be given by our both Ms. Day and Ms. Lin. After that, we'll have a giveaway questions to answer so that you can win your amazing prizes, followed by a smoothie demonstration by our Ms. Lin. After that, there will be a question and answers so that you can ask all your burning questions about diabetes that are related to food and medication. So a warm welcome to Ms. Day and Ms. Lin.
Thank you for the warm introduction and your kind words, Pei Yan. So hi everyone online, thank you for joining us tonight on this lovely platform. Ms. Lin and I are so delighted to be here tonight to share with you all the practical tips on how diet and medication can help manage your blood sugar better. So without further ado, Ms. Lin, I am sure this is a burning question from many of our viewers online with us now, and me myself included. Can I just know, is there a so-called diabetic diet which is suitable for diabetes people out there?
Thank you, Renyi, for the first question. This is actually quite a common question. Well, the answer is no, there is no diabetic diet. The eating plan for people with diabetes is actually the same as the healthy eating recommendation for people without diabetes. So it's simple, just follow the healthy eating plate method, which is the suku separuh, which means for your plate, half would be the separuh, half would be fruits and vegetables, whereas the first quarter would be grain fruits, and the other quarter would be protein-rich food. So that's just the simple recommendation.
Okay, so for these people with diabetes, do they actually need to avoid carbohydrate-rich foods?
No, not at all. Although people with diabetes need to watch their intake of carbohydrate, be careful, but they do not have to and avoid carbohydrate. Why? Because carbohydrate is the main source of energy for our body. And at the same time, most carbohydrate-containing foods are rich in nutrients such as vitamins, minerals, and fiber. So they don't have to avoid carbohydrate, but just be careful with the types they choose. So the important part, right, by choosing the carbohydrate types would be to choose unrefined complex carbohydrates such as whole grains, and also choosing naturally occurring sugar from milk and fruits. Whereas carbohydrates that are refined, such as those with added sugar like sugary drinks, biscuits, and cookies, should be limited.
Ah, I see. So is there like a specific portion or kind of intake people with diabetes should be aware of with the carbohydrate intake?
Well, the answer is yes and no. No, because there is no fixed amount of carbohydrate for people with diabetes, because it's basically based on their energy requirement, which is decided by the age, gender, and physical activity level. So the amount of carbohydrate they should take based on the energy, somehow there's a recommended range where it should be about 45 to 55% of their calorie. In this case, it doesn't mean that they have to measure or calculate. So just follow the suku separuh plate method. Just make sure 1/4 of their plate is only for carbohydrate-rich food.
I see. Yeah, that sounds simple. But is it okay if I skip a meal? Let's say, for people with diabetes, let's say if I had a really rich, carbohydrate meal at lunch. So would you kind of like, is it okay if I skip dinner, for example, if I have diabetes, to kind of like level up the carbohydrate intake that I will be consuming?
So you mean skipping meals?
Skipping meals, yes.
No, it is not recommended for people with diabetes to skip meals. It is very important to have consistent intake, especially for those who are taking fixed daily dose of insulin. So what they actually should do is to spread their carbohydrate intake evenly throughout the day by having the similar amount of carbohydrate per meal, and also have regular meal time. Why? Because this is very important to prevent spike of blood sugar or low blood sugar, which can be very dangerous. And we also found that when patients follow this regular meal time, it actually also help them to stick to taking medication on time. Yeah.
Yes, I absolutely agree with you on this, Miss Lin, because most of the time when we dispense medication to the patient, we often advise them to take their medication following their meal times. So it's very common, for us to tell the patient, oh, take this pill after your breakfast, after lunch, after dinner, or before meals. So I do agree, having a very regular meal time can actually, become a reminder for a lot of our patients out there by taking their medication. So from your experience, Ms. Lin, what is actually good for controlling blood sugar in terms of the diet? What sort of food that, our viewers out there can eat more so that they can, manage their blood sugar better?
So apart from following the suku separuh portion control, something that's very good in diet that helps to manage blood sugar is fiber. Because fiber helps to slow down the digestion, thus reduce or slow down the absorption of sugar from food. So this will help to prevent spikes in blood sugar after eating. So just include fiber in every meal. First thing, follow the suku separuh, where quarter of your plate should be vegetables and fruit. Secondly, make half your grains whole. So out of 3 meals, at least 1 or 2 meals of choices of grains should be whole grains, such as brown rice or wholemeal bread. And thirdly, include some other high fiber options such as beans, nuts and seeds into the meal regularly, but in moderation. So I'll give some example, simple tips on including more fiber into meals, such as mixing oats to the rice, or you can try barley if you don't like oats, or adding some beans into your soup, or switching from white bread to wholemeal bread for making sandwiches. Okay, so as someone increases the fiber intake, it is also very important to increase the intake of water, and do this gradually so that the body can adapt to the changes. Okay, so remember, suku separuh, fill the plate with variety and colors, and also in moderation and balance.
That is definitely very interesting to find out how food, with this suku separuh kind of type, to kind of control your diabetes. So apart from physical activities and food, Ms. Tay, would you like to, talk about how medication can help kind of manage the diabetes for the people with diabetes, please?
Yes, thank you, Payan. So, if the blood sugar level is really not well controlled with diet, with weight loss, and also with increased physical activity, the next treatment phase is definitely by taking medications to help the patients to control the blood sugar better. So that's, patients could be either taking an oral medication or an injection. So basically, the oral medication works in 3 different ways. They could either reduce the insulin resistance, they could, reduce and slow down the digestion of food in our body so that lesser sugar is actually being released into the blood. And lastly, it can increase the insulin secretion. So all these together sounds very complicated, but the end goal is they just want to produce an overall effect of bringing down the blood sugar level in our body. So for injectable medications, there are actually 2 main types. Insulin, which I'm sure you all are not, foreign about, and also non-insulin based injection therapy. So don't be too surprised if you have to use multiple medications to help control your blood sugar level. It is very common for people with diabetes, which requires 2 or more medications, and this is known as, a combination therapy. The choice of medication is actually depending on the individual itself. So, a person A or individual B does not necessarily take the same medication to help manage their blood sugar level. The choice is actually affected by, the health condition of the patient, their current weight, or simple and practical things like even the medication cost as well as their daily schedule can actually affect how the doctors choose the medication for their patients.
Yeah, understand. But it's very interesting to know about the non-insulin injection, because all this while only know about insulin injection.
Yes.
So is it something a breakthrough and something new?
Yes, Miss Lin, you are absolutely right. Non-insulin medication is actually the new blockbuster in diabetic medication.
Can you share more about it with us? I'm sure Pei-Yan would like to know too.
Yeah, I definitely don't mind. So this group of medication is actually known as the GLP-1 injection. So GLP-1 stands for Glucagon-like peptide 1. Don't bother remembering, guys.
Okay.
It's too complicated. Just remember GLP-1 injection. It sounds way cooler anyway. So GLP-1 injection actually works via 3 main mechanisms. So the first one is actually it increases the insulin secretion. So what insulin does is that it helps to break down sugar in our body. Secondly, it actually reduces the secretion of glucose into the bloodstream. And last but not least, and this is the most interesting part, girls, GLP-1 injection actually suppresses the appetite, which will eventually lead to weight loss.
Wow.
In our very overweight diabetic patients. And also, that's more advantageous to this injection. So for this GLP-1 injection, it generally have a longer half-life. What it means that, it will stay in our body, remain in our body, and be active for hours and even days. So, when we compare it to a standard oral medication or an insulin, it will stay in our body for a longer period of time, which makes it a very powerful insulin stimulant without frequency of injections.
Wow. That is certainly very, very cool, Ms. Day.
Yes.
So, what about these GLP injections? How frequent do people with diabetes have to inject themselves with this new GLP kind of injections?
Yes. Well, depending on the types of formulation that is available in Malaysia, you can either inject yourself once a day. So usually we advise our patient to inject themselves, once a day before breakfast in the morning, because it's easier to remember that way. Or there are formulations now which are super long acting, which will only requires an individual to inject themselves only once a week. So imagine this, you only take 1 injection per week to manage your blood sugar level. How cool is that?
Wow, yeah, that's unbelievable. But it is so effective. Does it mean this injection would have more side effects?
Well, Ms. Lin, that's a very common question. But on the opposite, side effects with these GLP-1 injections are really pretty mild. At the beginning of the treatment, you may get some nausea, headache, some minor acid reflux, or even, a bit of diarrhea. But that's just when you first started on the medication. So don't worry, all these symptoms will go away or disappear within a few weeks. Okay. And also, based on clinical trials data and also real-life patient data, it is shown that GLP-1 injections are actually less likely to produce hypoglycemia events, which is much more common with insulin-based therapies.
Okay. So, Renee, last question. Do you have any tips for us to share with us about the safe injection technique?
Yes, sure. So for viewers out there, if you have just been prescribed a new insulin pen or a GLP-1 pen, don't be afraid. First, it's important to know how to use your pen. So do not be afraid, do not hesitate to reach out to your doctors or even your friendly pharmacy team. We are always here to give you more information if you need. And secondly, always remember to practice aseptic techniques. So remember to wash your hands before each injection, clean the injection site using an alcohol swab, and also to use a new needle before each injection. And lastly, I always remind my patient, before starting and using your insulin pen, it is important to rotate your injection site so that you don't keep using the same spot for each injection. So a practical way to do it is that just divide your abdomen into 4 different sections, and then you just rotate it according to clockwise or anti-clockwise as you wish.
Thank you, Renyi.
That's really cool to see how, we have progressed so far, and now we can only, you just need to inject once a week with this GLP-1 injections. That is really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much both for the very informative talk. I'm sure now the viewers can have a better understanding on how food and medication help control diabetes. Right now, we'll be going to our giveaway questions and answers. So these are going to be in true or false format. We have 5, prizes to be won. And the first question is it true or false that the 3 most important components of diabetes are medication, nutrition, or exercise? So if you've been listening carefully, Miss Lin has actually talked about this, and to win the prizes, you just have to put in a comment below is it true or false. If it's true, you just put true. If it's false, you put false. And then with our hashtags, heart with heart, hashtag be in control, and hashtag CVSKL to be eligible to win our prizes. Remember that our prizes are not going to be first come and first serve basis, but it will be randomized. So comment down below whenever you can. The first question, is it true or false? We have 3 more questions to go. So the second question, are you guys ready? So the second true or false question, is it true or false that multiple medications can be prescribed? So I think this was just talked about by Ms. Day. Is it true or false that multiple medication can be prescribed to help people with diabetes to control their sugar? This can either be combination of oral medication or GLP or insulin injections. So we see if this is possible. If it is, type true. If it's not, type false. False, along with our 3 hashtags, hashtag CVSKL, hashtag heart with heart, and hashtag be in control. And the third true or false question, are you guys ready to win some gifts?
Yeah.
All right. All right, so the third question, again, true or false format. The Malaysian Healthy Plate emphasizes on the suku separuh concept, a quick visual technique that helps people with diabetes to immediately identify if your meal is balanced or not. Is it in moderation? Is it balanced? Type your answers in the comments down below. We'll be seeing those in a short while. And the last but not least, our 4th question in true or false format again. Is it true that all people with diabetes are encouraged to take meals regularly in compliance of their medicine taking time? Is it true or false? Comment down below. That is all the questions for the giveaway. Right now, we will have Miss Lin show us how to make a delicious banana chocolate smoothie. Miss Lin, would you like to go and demonstrate for us, please?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Doesn't that sound amazing?
Amazing. I mean, what else can you have? Chocolate, banana in one smoothie. Sounds yummylicious.
Yes, and she will also be using with Glucerna products from Abbott, so we shall see how it's like. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, so now I'm going to show how to make simple, easy banana chocolate smoothie using Glucerna. Okay, first we need 1/4 cup of oats. You can use instant oats or raw oats. It depends on your preference. Okay, put it into the blender. Then for chocolate, use cocoa powder. Okay. 1 teaspoon. Okay. Okay. Then we add Glucerna powder. I use vanilla. 5 scoops. 1, 4, 5. Next, we cut a medium-sized banana into smaller pieces so that it's easier to blend. Okay, then about 3/4 to 1 glass of water. And lastly, 6 to 8 cubes of ice. Now we blend all together until we get a smooth texture. You may pause in between to shake it a bit so that we get a better blend. Okay, so it's done. The smoothie is rich in chocolate cocoa flavor and also rich with banana taste. So this is the easy chocolate banana oat smoothie that you can try.
All right, Miss Lin, thank you so much. I hope you've learned a lot from the how to make the delicious banana and chocolate smoothie. Let's welcome back Miss Lin, shall we?
Welcome back, Miss Lin.
Thank you.
Thanks for all the hard work.
So
Yeah.
how did you like what I have prepared?
It was yummy. It was delicious.
Yes,
I
yes.
heard you mention that chocolate and banana.
A very good combination, right? So what other kind of smoothies do you recommend us drink every morning if we're rushing, to work?
Well, basically, it will be almost a similar combination. Just use milk as the base so that you get the nutrients, especially the protein. And then for fruits, if you don't like banana, you can change to other types of fruits. You can use mango, our local fruit, strawberry,
yes.
or apple. But just remember the portion. It should be about half cup cut. And for chocolate, if you don't like chocolate, you can use some other spices like cinnamon powder. Cinnamon powder mixed well with apple.
Yes.
So yeah, you can try different types of fruits and spices.
Cinnamon sounds very Christmassy.
Yes. You see me bringing my smoothie to work every day now.
Yes, definitely.
with the half cup fruits and everything. All right. Thank you, Miss Lena, for the tips on how to make a really good smoothie. Now we will be going away to our questions and answers. So right now we have a few questions compiled from the comments below. I think the first question is for our dietitian, Miss Lin. So the first question is basmati rice good for diabetic patients? Is it okay if they take more than a quarter for each meal? So Miss Lin, is that going to be okay for basmati rice?
Okay, thanks Ian for the question. So first question, is basmati rice good for patients with diabetes? Well, yes, basmati can be quite helpful in helping to controlling the sugar because Basmati rice is a type of long grain rice. So longer grain rice has lower glycemic index, which means after meal the spike in sugar will be quite lower than other normal rice. But basmati rice, there are also two types. If it is whole grains, then whole grain basmati rice, then it also have other added values like more fiber. Whereas if it is a white basmati rice, then it is actually considered as white rice. So the fiber content might not be there, but somehow it's helpful in those who have issue in managing their blood sugar. But if it comes to a portion, no, it is still kind of better to stick to the suku separuh portion, 1/4, because then this will be more on glycemic load. So if let's say someone chooses basmati rice taking more than a quarter, maybe a big bowl, then yes, the spike in sugar after meal might not be high, but the sugar level in the next morning pre-meal might be high because the total quantity of carbohydrate taken is still higher. So yes, basmati rice may be a good choice for people with diabetes, but it's still better to stick to 1/4 suku of the plate.
All right. Well, even a basmati rice is good for you, but remember, a quarter is enough. Suku separuh, like advised by Miss Lin. So our next question will be a more pharmacist-related question with Miss Tay Ren Yi. So Miss Tay, we have a question for you. Can type 2 diabetes be cured? Because if this person is asking if their blood glucose becomes normal for a few years, is it okay if they stop their medication and control their diet? Is that something that people with diabetes can do?
Well, thank you for whoever that asked me that question. It's actually a very, very good question, and we get asked. Common. Yeah, we get asked so much over the counter every day. So there's two parts to the question. So the first question is, can type 2 diabetes be cured? Unfortunately, the answer is no. Type 2 diabetes is a lifelong condition, so it is a chronic condition. So anything that we do is actually to prevent the disease progressing further, and also try to control the blood sugar level and prevents any further damages to other organs in our body. So the real hard answer is that no, it cannot be cured. However, with the advancement in terms of medicine technology, there are so many new compounds out there, to help manage the blood sugar level in a very safe manner, and it's also not so many side effects for the patients. So this viewer is asking if their blood sugar is well controlled, can they stop taking the medication? Actually, the answer is no. It is definitely not advisable to stop any anti-diabetic medication without consulting your doctors. You may see a good control in your blood sugar level. It's mainly due to, it's just meaning that, your current treatment plan is actually working for you. So keep up the good work, okay? Continue to maintain healthy eating, be physical, be active, and also take your medications on time. So all these things will help, to produce what we call a good sugar level. However, to completely stop them, no. But there might be a chance that, you could reduce the amount of medication that you are taking as well as the dose.
Okay, that's really cool. So both are important. Medication and food, have to control what you're eating, have to control your medication, and also exercise. That's very important as well. So, okay, back to Miss Lin, a dietitian question. Let's see. What about brown rice for diabetic patients? I think you've kind of addressed that already, but would you like to elaborate more on brown rice?
Yes, I have mentioned about brown rice earlier when I was explaining to both of you. So brown rice, yes, it is suitable for people with diabetes. Why? Because it is a choice of whole grains where it is rich in fiber. So grains that is containing higher amount of fiber helps in, again, reducing the absorption, thus reducing the sugar into the blood, so there won't be a spike in the blood sugar. So yes, it is a better choice, but again, the portion should be in moderation, the suku separuh.
Yes. Only a quarter of rice, guys. Only. No matter how tempting it is.
And also, you know, us being an Asian country,
yes, it's hard.
we love our rice.
We do. All right, back to Miss Tay then. The second question, how frequent is it, Miss Tay, that you know, this person with diabetes should test their blood glucose level?
That is also a very good question. Whoever asking must be, you know, someone really good. Okay, so basically, as most of you all will know, testing blood sugar comes hand in hand with diabetes. Unfortunately, that is just how it is. However, the frequency of testing is actually depending on the type of medication that the patient is on. So for example, you know, you will require very frequent checking of your blood sugar level if, for example, you are on an insulin-based therapy. So, you know, if a patient is on insulin, it is not very unusual for them to be pricking themselves, taking blood, and checking their blood sugar level at least 3 times a day. So they actually have to check their blood sugar level before each meal to decide on the dose of the insulin that they have to take next. So, you know, that's already before breakfast, before lunch, and before dinner. And also some will require before bedtime to take another sugar level to determine the nighttime insulin therapy. So, you know, with conventional insulins, really, you know, the patient will be just pricking themselves and all. That's why, you know, with the GLP-1 injections, you may not need to you may not need to check your blood sugar level that frequent. So maybe, you know, once every 2 to 3 days is sufficient because it provides a very steady baseline kind of a treatment therapy. So all in all, do check with your doctors or your pharmacy team on the suitable blood checking intervals.
I see. Okay. So thank you, Ms. Tay, for a very good answer. So back to Ms. Lin, another dietitian question. Ooh, this one may be a hot topic. So we have a third question from a Facebook viewer live. Is keto diet suitable for people with diabetes? What would you advise?
Anything with diet will definitely grab attention. Keto diet is all the rage now.
Diet. Yes, it's very popular.
Yes, this is quite a tricky question.
Yes.
Well, there are 2 parts to look into this. Well, keto diet is a diet where the carbohydrate percentage is very, very low, whereas the fat percentage is very, very high. So when the carbohydrate percentage is low, then yes, it kind of helps to improve the blood sugar because, you know, you don't consume so much carbohydrate. But at the other point is that, you know, when you have so much fat intake, then it might actually give you some other health issues. I do notice that it might actually affect the cholesterol level. So you know, when you look at it as a whole, yes, it's good, might be good for blood sugar, but if it brings harms to other health issues, then then it's questionable. And we don't normally encourage keto diet to people with diabetes. Somehow, you know, the better type, you can try it for the short period of time. You know, if someone has very high blood sugar and you know, he or she is so frustrated that, you know, despite taking medication, despite controlling his food, it still can't be improved. And yeah, if he wants to take the try, yes, he can, but just for a short period of time. Don't stick to it for too long. Somehow, the ideal way is still follow the suku separuh, where we have the balanced amount of carbohydrate, protein, and fat. And also, just to share with you, keto diet is something quite new. So there are not so many papers or evidence, you know, showing the long-term effect to health. So yeah, there's a risk in it.
Okay. Yeah.
So no keto diet then.
No keto diet.
You may try. Okay.
Yes, but not for long term, hopefully, and that I hope you are able to keep your blood sugar, in control. So back to Ms. Tay for a pharmacy's question. So will long-term diabetes medication hurt my kidney? Is that
the top one question that we get over the counter, it's anything related to kidney.
Okay.
If we give a painkiller, patient will ask us, will this, inject my kidney? We give a high blood pressure medication. This okay for my kidney. So kidney is a popular thing in terms of medicine, and somehow public perception is that, any type of long-term medication would eventually lead to kidney damage. However, I have to just emphasize, diabetic medication does not actually injure your kidney. It's the fact that if we do not slow down the progression of the disease, it's the diabetes itself that will injure your kidney. So it's nothing related to the medication. So, when we further studies how this medicine actually works in our body, most of them are really eliminated through the pancreas, through the renal, unspoiled. So if it's something that we can ingest, it's definitely not toxic to our body. So, don't be afraid. Long-term medication does not really actually injure your kidney. The key takeaway message is that if we do not slow down the disease progression, it is actually the diabetes that will cause damage to your kidney. So guys, must take your medication.
Yes, must take your medication as prescribed by your doctors.
Yes.
If you have any questions, I'm sure our lovely pharmacists and doctors here definitely will be able to give you a hand. Consult your physician, consult your pharmacist when in doubt. So that's always a good rule of thumb if you're concerned about things like this. So back to Ms. Lin, dietitian question.
More questions.
All right, yeah, we're getting a lot of questions.
Good.
All right, so the first question for Ms. Lin. This viewer wants to know if Gardenia Somerset Cottage multigrain bread is a good choice.
It's a very
for people with
specific
diabetes.
brand.
Yeah, yes, it's a very specific brand. I myself,
formulation.
I personally don't know what this bread is, but I'm not quite sure if Miss Lin knows what this bread is. But this is Gardenia Somerset Cottage multigrain bread.
And honestly, I don't really know well about this particular type of bread, but by looking at the name, the description, multi-grains, yes, it kind of if it is whole grains, yes, it is a suitable choice. But just look at the ingredients and also the nutrient content. If the first thing that is listed under the ingredients is whole grain flour, then yes, it is a good choice. Secondly, see whether there's added sugar. There's sugar in the ingredient. If there is no, then yes, it is a good choice.
Okay, so things to look out for when you're buying bread, whole grain flour, and as well if there's any additional sugar in the bread. Okay, good to take note. So yeah, maybe you can check your own Gardenia bread to see if it's made of a wholemeal flour and if there's any additional sugar in there. So pharmacist question, back to Ms. Tay. What's it? Can GLP-1 injection be suitable for kidney impaired patient? Again, another kidney question, like you said, very popular.
Yes, very popular. So for GLP-1 injection is actually quite safe to be taken for renal impaired patient. A kidney impaired patient. So it's okay and it's safe to continue to take them. However, there will be some minor dose adjustment if your doctor is deemed necessary. So try not to titrate your own dose. Just follow your doctor prescription. They will make the best decision for you. So trust them.
Okay. All right. So final question for both our dietitian and our pharmacist. Each Final question for you, Ms. Lin. Are there any meal replacements, for example, shakes on the go? I'm sure like university students love those in the market that claim that we can replace a meal by having the shake. We'll have better blood sugar control. So is that a good substitute for a whole meal? Like, can this shake replacement replace our meal? What do you think to control our sugar?
Meal replacement products. Yes, there are a few types of meal replacement products that is quite specific for people with diabetes, where the types of carbohydrate might be different. So in terms of whether this helps in having better sugar control, it depends on how this product is being included in the diet. Let's say if someone has had a meal and then followed by having this glass of drink, then it won't help. In fact, it might give you too much carbohydrate. Because that is addition. If as the title meal replacement, if someone doesn't have time to prepare his meal, or too busy to eat, or feeling hungry in between meals, then yes, this product can be taken and may help in improving the blood sugar, comparing with not having meals at all, or going for sugar sweetened beverages. So yeah, it has its roles in helping to managing the blood sugar, but depending on how it is being taken.
I see.
Very interesting to know.
That's a very good last question and the last answer from our dietitian, Ms. Lin. So our final question for Ms. Teh, our pharmacist. What sugar readings should diabetics be aiming to achieve? HbA1c and daily reading ranges.
Okay. Number 2 popular question. In Malaysia, everyone loves targets. We want to hit our target.
Yes.
We want the doctors to give us a number that we can work towards. So it's a good question. So I'll start by, just explaining briefly about HbA1c, because, not a lot of our viewers may heard about this test. So HbA1c is actually a measurement of the sugar level that is attached to our red blood cells. So it is an average result that shows how much sugar is actually in our blood for the past 3 months. So this is the catch. I'm sure when you go for body checkups, one night before you'll be like, I should eat healthy because I need to take my blood test tomorrow, right? Yeah. But you may, cheat on the fasting blood glucose level. But no, you cannot cheat HbA1c, because HbA1c is a reading of your 3 months report card. So if you do not eat healthy, do not take your medications, whenever you go for your doctor checkup, 1 blood test, HbA1c out, that's it. There's no going around it. So for HbA1c, it's not a daily reading. It's more like, a 3 months, 6 months, or even an yearly annual checkup. So the suitable range that you should be targeting, if, for example, you are a non-diabetes patient, you should be seeing a level of around 5.7%. Anything lower, good. All right. So if you are a diabetes patient, usually your HbA1c will be slightly higher. So you are looking at a range of around 6.5% and higher. So unfortunately, if you're diagnosed with diabetes, usually your doctor will set a target for you, and the target will not be too high. So it will be anything above 7%. So, if you diagnosed with a HbA1c of 10%, by a reduction to 8% is already a 20% improvement. So, a target is always a target. So, just try not to beat yourself too much around it. Just continue your good work. Try to achieve as much as you can. And, don't be too hard on yourself.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Teh, for the very informative question as well. Thank you both for the very interesting and I'm sure we've learned a lot from this session from our dietitian Ms. Lin and pharmacist Ms. Tay. So right now we'll be moving towards our packages. Before we go off, we would like to have just wanted to let you know that we have CVS Care Packages. Right now we have a post-COVID care package by Dr. Jamalu. So Dr. Jamalu is our respiratory physician. So if you've ever had contracted COVID and you'd like a checkup just to see that like everything is good, do visit us at CVSKL. Dr. Jamalu will be here every Saturday. Another package that we have also is the Essential Cardiac Screening Package, which is done by our Dr. Fazil. The package is now at $699. Normal price, I think, is around 927 ringgit. So be sure to come to CVSKL and make the best out of these packages that we have available. On top of that, we also have World Heart Day coming up, which is on the 29th of September. So on World Heart Day, as you guys know, CVSKL is a heart hospital also. We will have a blood donation drive on this day. So visit us at CVSKL, donate blood, save lives. So that's always very good, especially in this pandemic. People will surely very much need those blood that you will be donating to. And then other promotions available are from Abbott. So right now we have sales going on from today to 29th of September. Again, World Heart Day lasting a week from now. We have promotions coming out at CVSKL Lazada official store, so that when you buy 1 tin of Ensure or Glucerna products, so these are Abbott products, we'll have a free Luminac jar while stocks last. And then if you buy this, are available at both Lazada official CVSKL and also at physical store at our Pulse Point at CVSKL. So we have a pharmacy here. It's located right next to where Miss Tay is.
Yes, so do drop by Pulse Point if you guys are ever around. I'm always around, so if you need further information, don't hesitate. We are all a very friendly team. Yes,
okay. Yeah, and then on top of that, if you buy 2 tins of Ensure or Glucerna products at Pulse Point CVSKL, you will also have a 10 ringgit touch and go e-wallet rebate. So thank you so much for these promotions and for being here with us. The promotions will last for 1 week, that is until 29th of September. So, you can also come, donate blood, and then get some products at Pulse Point, buy 2 tins of Glucerna or Ensure,
or they have more questions about nutrition, can come to CVSKL.
Yes, can come to CVSKL.
Dietitians,
yes, or 3 birds, 1 stone. You can come to CVSKL. You do your essential screening cardiac package with Dr. Fazil, and then after that, come donate blood, and then go buy your 2 tins of Ensure Glucerna or Ensure Glucerna. So that's very good to have already. But yeah, so I think right now we're gonna announce our winners from the giveaway from the True and False. So
let's see who is the lucky winners tonight.
Yes, so like I said before, there are five winners. So lucky people. The first one is Xinqi. Second one is Balbinder Kaur. I hope I'm pronouncing these names right. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Yes. Kaur. Okay. The third one is Fang Jane. Fourth one, Joe Lim. And fifth one, Raymond Ng. So Congratulations, all 5 winners. Do get in touch with CVS Facebook drop us a message, and then we can arrange the delivery arrangement to post those free gifts to you. So winners again, 1 to 5, 新吃 Balbinder Kaur, Fang Jane, Joe Lim, and Raymond Ung. So thank you very much for being with us, and thank you so much, Miss Lynn and Miss Day, for the very informative session. We have definitely learned a lot from you guys, and I hope you guys have too. Don't forget that we have promotions going on from us at CVSKL as well as Abbott. So right now, visit our CVSKL Lazada official store. We not only we have Abbott, Glucerna, and Unsure, we also have other things right now on the CVSKL Lazada official store. So do visit that page. If you need anything, just pop by. Honestly. At our past point, CVSKL, come see our doctors, Dr. Jamalu, for a post-COVID care package, and also for cardiac screening. That's always good. If you're into keto, for example, and if your fat is very high, maybe you want to get your heart checked. This can be something that you might want to look at. So thank you so much for today. And don't forget that we have also a blood donation drive on World Heart Day. So thank you so much. We hope you have enjoyed it.
Yeah, we hope you have enjoyed our session.
Yes. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up, and follow us at Facebook, follow us at YouTube, follow us
Instagram,
and our Lazada official store, obviously. Yes. So the promotions will only last for 1 week. The app products when you buy tins of Ensure and Glucerna. So please make use of this, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, and
bye.
bye.
I used to always feel hungry because of poor glucose control until I was recommended Glucerna.
New Glucerna with 35 nutrients. Starts right from day 1. Helps control glucose levels in 4 weeks. Glucerna. Be in control.
In today's fast-paced world, quality healthcare is one of the most important factors of how people perceive quality of life. This is where Cardiac Vascular Sentral Kuala Lumpur comes in. Situated in the bustling heart of the capital city, this integrated and specialist hospital provides some of the most comprehensive, cutting-edge adult cardiovascular care in Malaysia and puts its patients in the center of all its activities in order to ensure that it is a truly patient-centered cardiac and vascular hospital. Featuring among the most established and experienced clinical experts, the team of specialists in CVSKL collectively bring with them over 600 years of expertise, guided by Tan Sri Dr. Yahya bin Awang as the chairman and one of the founding doctors. Each a respected professional in their field, they are backed by a sterling track record of achievements, providing patients with premier standards of evidence-based, professional and holistic care. Complementing each other in providing the appropriate and necessary treatments in cardiac and vascular surgery, interventional cardiology, or electrophysiology, the specialists work in multidisciplinary teams with trained nursing and support staff to offer excellence in patient care. Heart disease remains the top cause of mortality in Malaysia, and so our aim is to be the region's cardiac and vascular center of excellence, rising above the ordinary to provide one of the most efficient, specialized private healthcare in Malaysia. From our advanced hybrid operating theatre to the electrophysiology lab, fully equipped labs, intensive care units, intensive and high dependency units, we offer the advanced yet appropriate equipment and facilities in our 60-bedded hospital. There is no denying that at CVSKL, we want to cement our position as the center of excellence and expertise in cardiovascular care, not only in Malaysia, but in the region. We will put passion and expertise at the core of everything we do, enable a quality healthcare service that is holistic in its delivery, invest in our people to upskill and bring out their best, and most importantly, at CVSKL, we will take the matters of your heart to our heart. Heart with heart.